Hey bakers, my name is Haylee and today I will be making cake balls. I would like to give a shout out to my mom for teaching me how to make cake balls and my grandma Lori for making the cake for me. All you're going to need is a spoon, a cookie scooper, melting chocolate. I'm using pink and white, yellow, and your cake mix. And your first step, you're just going to make your cake, which is already done. And then next you're gonna crumble it, and you're gonna leave it in the pan to crumble it, but you're just gonna make it so then it's all into pieces. Then you're gonna mix frosting with the cake until it sticks together. So when when you put in your frosting and it's all mixed in, make sure that it goes together. Use a cookie scoop and roll the cake mixture up and make sure that it's smooth. So we're just gonna do this, and then you're gonna use it and scoop it into your hand, and this will be pretty messy. If you're using any kind of cake, you can use white, any kind. The darker kinds of cake might make your hands a little more dirty, make it look more dirty. So we're just gonna scoop as many as we can, and I'm not gonna use the whole cake mixture though. They can be any size, like this one's smaller and this one's bigger. That's perfectly fine. If they're any size, you can use the big scoopers as well if you need to. But I'm just using the medium size, normal size cookie scooper that you would normally use. And you're gonna put them on a sheet of tin foil. And your hands will get kind of oily, so it's okay if the cookie thing slips out of your hand. It almost just slipped out of my hand. And you want to make sure that they're smooth, so then they're not too lumpy and stuff like that. They want to be pretty smooth, but it's okay if you're just a beginner like I was, and if they're a little bit lumpy. Cake balls are basically just cake pops with no stick in them. And for me, cake pops are harder for me and my mom to make. Cake balls are easier because they won't really slip down the stick because there is no stick. And last cake ball, this one will probably be a little smaller because there wasn't a lot left. Mini cake ball. So next, after you roll your cake balls, I'm going to wash my hands because they're all gross and oily. Alright, now that I have fresh and clean hands, we're going to melt our chocolates. We have, you didn't remember, we have pink and yellow. And the reason that we have less yellow is because the yellow we're going to drizzle with, and pink is going to be our main color. So now you're going to get your Crisco, which is kind of like butter. And you're going to take one scoop of it and put it in with your melting chocolate. About that size. And I'm going to put one in the yellow as well. About the same size, except just a little bit smaller. Now we're gonna start with our pink melted chocolates, and we're gonna put them in for 1 minute to start. We're gonna need our spoon as well to mix it with. So next, after you put it in the chocolate in for 1 minute, you're going to stir it around, and the Crisco will melt so it won't stay, and it will make it more oily. And then you're going to put it in for about 30 seconds longer. So I'm going to leave my spoon over here. So we just put the chocolate back in for 20 more seconds. And then when you're done with that, you're going to do it again with you have to dip the pink ones first, and then you're going to melt this. And you don't have to do the drizzling part. You can do sprinkles if you want to. Or we have food glitter too, but we're not going to use that today. Now our chocolate is all good and melted. And here's how you dip them. First, you're going to get your cake ball. I'm starting with the smallest one. We're going to put it on the spoon and put it under. And don't chop it, just like scoop the chocolate up, and you're going to put it on there. And just repeat that process until you have all of them covered. And you have to kind of do this quick so then the chocolate doesn't harden, because this chocolate hardens pretty fast. So you have to do it pretty fast. And the chocolate does get kind of thick, so so it might be a little bigger when you're done putting it in the chocolate. See, this was about the size, and it gets a little bit bigger. And it does use quite a lot of chocolate, so you can, if you want to, just use your spoon and pat it on the sides. Now I'm on to my last cake ball. And you don't have to do sprinkles or drizzles. You can just do one plain color. But I am doing 2 colors because I think that's more fun. And now that I am finished, I'm going to go ahead and go melt the yellow chocolates. Now the yellow chocolate is melted, and I had to do 2 30-second increments with the yellow chocolate. So that would be in the microwave, and that would be 1 minute. So now for drizzling, you just put it some in the spoon, and you just go over it a little bit. And these are like spring colors. So you have to let the cake balls, or the chocolate over the cake balls, harden for probably 15-20 minutes. So then they're all the way hardened. What you're going to do when they're done are get a knife, and then you're going to cut all the extra chocolate around the sides, and then you're going to put them in these mini cupcake tins. Now that I've finished with my cutting and wrapping, you're going to want to throw away your tin foil and extra chocolate. So I'm going to now try one and see if they're as good as my mom's.